Hi, I'm River Dawson, and I have type 1 diabetes. First thing I need to do in the morning is check my sugar. And I didn't get this because I ate too much sugar. Didn't get it because I was lazy. I got it because I was born with it. And this morning I need to check my sugar, as I said, and do a quick site change. This is my pump. Gonna have to load it and prime it today. $2.95.
What's that mean, Riv?
$2.95 is the amount of blood that is in amount of sugar that is in my bloodstream.
And is that normal?
It's a little high.
So what do you do now?
Well, first I'm gonna have to do my site change. Then I'm gonna have to bolus for it.
What does that mean?
I'm gonna have to put the insulin in my bloodstream to counteract the sugar, because I don't actually produce the insulin myself.
So that's what you're doing now?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to put the insulin in? Now, is the insulin what's in your pump?
Yes, the insulin is what's going in my pump.
How does the pump work?
I do all the calculations on. I put in the numbers. It does the calculations and tells me how much I need to bolus.
What is a bolus, River?
It is the amount of insulin that I'm putting into my bloodstream.
Okay, we'd like to watch you do that.
Okay. Take this out. Get the cap. Drop it. So first I'm gonna have to rewind it to reset it, and then during that time I will load the insulin into the cartridge. Put this in here. Insert the air. Take out the insulin. Make sure there's no bubbles in there. So put this cap back on. Take these off. I'm gonna have to open this bit. This is the cannula that the insulin travels through to get into my bloodstream. This is only the first part of the two pieces. Get that off. So you put it through here and attach it onto this. You make sure you close this off for when we need to load the cartridge. Loading the cartridge, it makes it so the pump can read how much insulin is actually in the cartridge.
River, how long have you had diabetes?
Since I was 5, so that's going on 7 years now. And just something I've had to live with since then. And I gotta prime it to make sure. I think let's make sure there's no bubbles in the cannula. Gotta put this on first. This is the site that goes into my skin. It has this little piece here that goes just under my skin so I can put the insulin in. It's kind of hard to see.
It's like a little needle that just stays under your skin?
Yeah.
Like a thumbtack?
Almost.
And how long do you leave that in for?
This will stay in for 2 days, and then after that I'll put another one in and just recycle and then redo the process. Every 2 days. Take this off. Should prime it. Gotta prime it.
Now prime means that you're filling the insulin all the way to the tip of the needle, so there's no air in your tube, right?
Yep. Put the button down. Now the droplets came out, and it's ready to put in. So you lock this up, pinch these together. I'll slip this into my pocket right quick. Actually, I'll use this side. Find a spot, pucker up your skin, and put in the site.
And you just push it in.
Mm-hmm.
Was it scary for you when you first started doing that?
The site itself?
Yeah.
Yeah. I still have a little trouble with it from now and then.
What's the hardest part for you about having diabetes?
Sometimes when my sugar's low and all the other kids are out playing, I can't get around to playing with them for a minute because my blood sugar's low and activity can just make it go lower.
So sometimes you feel like you miss out on things?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me an example?
As I said, activity such as yesterday on Halloween, it took me a minute to be able to get up and go out because my blood sugar got low. So now I just gotta put all this
What does
stuff.
it feel like when your sugar is low?
I get shaky, my limbs start to feel like they're unsteady. I get really hungry because my body's trying to fill the energy that it needs to get my sugar up. And I become very dizzy. Can't really keep
Do you
my
get
focus
confused?
steady. Very much.
And what's that like?
You don't really know what's going on, and you know you're there, but you don't know where you are, really.
And what do you do, River, when your sugar's low? How do you get your sugar up?
What you have to do is eat or drink anything with sugar in it. Depending on what your sugar is, you should eat or drink a specific amount of carbs or sugar. Like if your blood sugar is in the range of 70 to 80, you shouldn't really go over 15 because then you'll just start going high.
Get your sugar too high?
Yeah,
So it's kind of like a balancing act.
it really is.
That's a lot of responsibility for a 12-year-old. Is that ever hard on you?
Mhm.
Feel like you got a lot going on?
Mhm.
Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Sometimes it just gets a little overwhelming. So I'll just go in my room and read a book or something, play with my little sister. Play with Einstein here.
Who's Einstein, Rev?
Einstein is my service dog. He's a diabetic alert dog and seizure detecting. What he does is he can smell the changes in my blood sugar, and he'll come up, either tug on my clothes, paw me, slaps me in the face a lot.
It's kind of nice to have such a best friend.
It is.
He takes good care of you.
Mm-hmm.
So now you told me at the beginning of this video your sugar was high and you needed to bolus. Can you show me what that looks like?
Yep.
I'm going to come closer so you can show me on the pump too.
Okay, so what you gotta do, unlock it. Go into the bolus options here. And then what I have to do is I'm going to do an easy BG. What that does is it only boluses for my blood sugar and not for any food that I might be having at the moment.
Okay.
Then I'll type in what my blood sugar was. Gotta see what it was real quick. Take that out. One second. It's not turning on. There we go. Then I'll see what my last 295.
So now you put 295 into that pump.
Yep. It'll tell me that I'm high and have me check sites and do other things that you might need to do to see.
What other things might you need to do, Rev?
Check my ketones. Ketones is something that builds up in my body because with the higher blood sugar, it's harder for the ketones to escape my body.
And when they build up, what happens?
I'll get sick. A lot of times I'll start throwing up. And it can actually get really scary at times. Sorry, the pump fell asleep. So now it's telling me that I need to do 6.50 units of insulin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to push the button to take it up to the 6.5. And I'll click OK and it'll give it all to me.
So then that delivers your insulin that you need to bring your blood sugar down.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take for the insulin to start bringing your blood sugar down?
Like 1 to 2 hours.
So you're high for a little while then.
Yeah, and that can make my stomach feel sick.
What else happens when you have a high blood sugar?
As I said, ketones, my stomach feels sick. Once again, I'm really hungry. And can't really think of anything else at the moment.
How does your body feel?
Terrible. Either one, terrible.
So whether your blood sugar's high or low, your body feels pretty nasty, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Does your blood sugar go high or low often?
Highs more than lows recently. Actually, like, pretty even throughout all three recently.
So you don't just stay at one steady number?
No.
What happens then? Can you explain it to me?
My blood sugar literally is like a roller coaster. It goes up, and then it'll go back to normal for a minute, and then it might go down, stay up for a bit, and then go back down for a bit. It's all depending on what my body feels like sending me through at the moment.
It sounds pretty hard to be on that roller coaster. Well, River, thank you very much for taking a second to tell us about your morning with type 1 diabetes and bringing awareness on November Diabetes Awareness Month.